This is Just Nigeria. Coming up on the program, curbing COVID-19. We examine how lack of access to water for regular hand washing is affecting the fight against coronavirus. Also, no wedding bells. The COVID-19 pandemic alters the wedding plans of many intending couples. And basic hygiene. Residents of rural communities struggle to access clean water in South Africa. Plus,
my name is Silas Sedekunle. Check me out.
The robotics engineer and entrepreneur popular for creating the world's first intelligent gaming robots. Thanks for joining us on Just Nigeria from the BBC and Channels TV, where we bring you the stories being talked about by the social media generation. I am Wale Fakileb. Let's kick off the show with our top story for this week. Now, washing our hands with soap and clean water is one of the simplest and most cost-effective public health interventions against the spread of COVID-19. But many Nigerians, especially those in the rural and urban slum areas, lack access to clean water. With the country now in the community transmission phase, many are worried that this may escalate the spread of the virus. So, how is the lack of clean water affecting the efforts to curb the spread of the coronavirus? Just Nigeria's Ojoko Ulotse tells us more.
Water for you, it costs past as rent for you. And that water, we don't get good water for this area at all. We don't get good water.
This is a common situation in most communities in Nigeria. The search for clean water seems endless. So many people are forced to share the limited and unclean alternative. Zokutu is a community in Kuje Area Council and the nation's capital. It's home to more than 3,000 people. Here, the struggle for water is real. Residents are forced to navigate these slopey rocks to this stream, their only source of water. Rose Mishai lives here. She describes the daily agony of traveling long distances and risking her life for every drop.
We don't have pipe-borne water. We don't know how to get clean water so that we can wash our hands and bathe our children. This is the one available to us.
5 months after coronavirus showed up in Nigeria, it has infected over 30,000 people, with figures rising daily. Health authorities continue to ask people to wash their hands, but with which water? According to WaterAid, 3 in 10 people in Nigeria do not have access to clean water close to their homes, while 4 in 5 people lack hand-washing facilities. This has made Nigeria prone to diseases like cholera. In 2018, the NCDC reported 42,466 cases of cholera. 830 of them died in 20 states. Just like Zokutu, the people of Olo community in Enugu, southeastern Nigeria, depend on unclean water from this stream for drinking, bathing, washing and cooking. 20-year-old Chineyerem Okafo, like many others, swim here, adding to the enormous health risk residents here face.
We don't use to wash hands because there is no water that we use to wash hands. We just use our hand like that. Because when there is no water, what will we do?
This helplessness experienced by the people here means hand washing is last on their scale of preference. But the Enugu state government attributes the problem to the shortage of water production.
We're allowed to do boreholes in different rural areas, at least 100, maximum of 100 in a year. And this has been ongoing. We choose tendencies of areas that have high population with no water access. So it's been tremendous. We've been moving even with our partners and working together with us. Government has been doing their parts to make sure that there's a source of water, at least affordable water, clean affordable water to people living in rural.
In Nigeria's south-south region, this challenge persists. In Agu Waterside community in Rivers State, access to pipe-borne water remains a dream. Golden Heart, a resident here, says the problem has left many people spending more than their daily income.
I have a large family. So it's 800 to 1,000 naira
a day.
A day. You pay people to fetch. I cannot go to fetch at my age. It's so cumbersome, strenuous, disheartening, browbeating. It's not an easy thing. So if you say getting water, to wash hand, maybe 10 times, I prefer to wash hand even 20 times. But where is the water?
Like the other states, authorities blame population explosion and city expansion initiatives for the water scarcity.
When those facilities, they build them, even when they drill oil for River State now, never did like this. Population of people where they live for Port Harcourt and River State as a whole, no they like this. All this drill and all oil in search of oil as well will begin to affect the water way that they drink for this state.
Where is the water is the question many are asking in Nigeria's commercial center, Lagos, the epicenter of the coronavirus. How are people expected to adhere to awareness campaigns on hand washing with soap and clean water? Ajegunle is one of the densely populated communities, and getting water is an uphill task. Maracana lies in the heart of Ajegunle, a community surrounded by water, yet its residents can barely get enough. Victoria has lived here for years alongside her friend Maria Oke. They say potable water is more expensive than their rent.
I don't get money to buy drinking water. I can't get money to buy the one when I go to take wash hand. If I go out, I go wash hand. If I come back, I go wash hand. Where I see that money? Money when I go water when I go take bath, wash clothes. Now me I define no. The one when they toss it to wash hand. I beg, I don't get money for that one.
As they say, people they wash hand now. We don't see drinks. Talk about the way to wash hand every time. No water. We suffer for water a lot for this Maracana.
Presently, Nigeria is just spending about $393 million a year. So inadequate funding is a major issue. Without funding, the wash sector is capital intensive. You need to invest in infrastructure. You need to operate and maintain. You need to replace aging facilities. Without funding, you can't do that.
Nigeria continues to set aside a chunk of its budget for water. In 2020, it earmarked 91 billion naira to the Ministry of Water Resources. The year before that, the ministry got 73.58 billion naira. But why has it become almost impossible for a majority of Nigerians to access clean water, despite these whopping sums?
The figures are quite good, but it's about making sure that these huge funds, just like in every sector in India, that are allocated, that expenditure really coincides with allocation. And I think that is what we are yet to see in Nigeria, particularly in the water sector. In 2018, we had issued a Freedom of Information request that pursuant to the Nigerian Freedom of Information Act 2011, asking the Minister of Agriculture and Water Resources, then those ministries were combined then, to state how much, to give us the details of information on budgetary allocations and expenditure on water in Nigeria. Of course, as expected, we didn't get any response and we had to proceed to court.
This lack of accountability for funds may have jeopardized the fight against COVID-19. But the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, says the federal government is not to blame.
We don't run water schemes. We are not water supply providers. The federal government does not own a water board. It's the primary responsibility of state governments and local government authorities to provide water to their communities. So whatever we're doing is to complement the efforts of the state governments by way of some kind of intervention.
While government's intervention may have failed to yield the desired results for over 30 years, healthcare workers say water is a crucial weapon in the fight against the spread of COVID-19.
On a personal level now, for the individual, hand washing would almost be the most important, because it might just be the difference between life and death. It's a serious matter. Washing your hands regularly. It's important for us to take this seriously. If we are going to deal with COVID-19 and get through this, we must wash our hands.
Water in this instance is a right. Water is a human right, and Nigerian citizens need to understand that and make demands for this provision of water from government, that it is provided. Then the provisions of the Constitution, Chapter 2, for instance, makes clear provisions about Nigerian government providing for the socio-economic welfare of Nigerians. And living a good life, a quality life, without water is just impossible.
As coronavirus continues to spread, people like Rose, Chineyerem and Golden Heart will continue to contend with the double risk of coronavirus and other diseases until decisive measures are put in place to end the water pandemic. Ajoke Olotse, Gist Nigeria.